Hey Poohs, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be eating on a deshelled seafood boil. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that post notification bell that's right next to that subscribe button so you'll be notified when I drop videos. And if you are watching this video right now, if you could please give me a like, I would really appreciate that because it really helps my video out a ton. So our post notification shout out goes to Ruby Moreno. I hope I said your last name right. Thank you so much for having your post notification bell on. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. All right. By the way, I am doing a true crime in this video. So if you do not like true crime or anything like that, First 48, things like that, this is not the video for you. But if you do, continue to watch and give this video a like if you want more true crime videos, okay? So today I have lobster tails, I have king crab, corn on the cob, boiled eggs, potatoes, sausages, shrimp. I have it all in this bowl. And I also have my butter sauce in spicy. I think I mixed spicy and medium together actually. But I have my butter sauce right here. I do have some on the site right now. Definitely go check it out. You will love it, I promise you. I have spicy, mild, and medium available on my site. Just click the link in the description box down below and check it out. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this video. I'm gonna eat a little bit first and then I'm gonna get into the true crime video. All right, hopefully I don't make the video too long, y'all. So how's everybody been? Let me know down below in the comments. Ooh. Y'all let me know what y'all eating on. Let me know if you like king crab or snow crab. Like, which one is your favorite? I got fresh corn on the cob today. Why I don't never have napkins, I don't know. That's the one thing I be forgetting. I love the taste of like shrimp. It'd be so good, y'all. Let me get a corn on the cob. Just a messy bowl. All right, y'all, we about to get into the true crime. So Michael and Christina have two beautiful daughters. One name is Sierra. She's the oldest. And the youngest name is Crystal. I don't know why I couldn't get that together. So they have an older daughter named Sierra, the youngest daughter named Crystal. Now, Sierra is more of the oldest. She's more of like the laid back one. She's, you know, not into trouble or anything like that. She's chill, you know. Now the youngest, on the other hand, the youngest Crystal, she just a very rebellious child. She lies all the time. She was stealing. She was just very destructive, and she actually set their neighbors' pillows on fire for no reason at all. Like, no reason. Her parents asked her, like, why did you do it? She had no answer. So Christina, the wife, she told her husband Michael, like, hey, I feel like our youngest daughter Crystal needs to go on medication. But Michael was like, no, absolutely not. She's not about to go on medication, you know. So they kept going back and forth, arguing about the situation. And eventually Michael gave in, was like, okay, let's go ahead and try it out, you know. So they tried the medication out on Crystal, their youngest daughter. And Michael felt like it changed his youngest daughter, Crystal's personality. Like she just didn't seem like herself. She was very like quiet, and she just seemed like she was out of it most of the time. So Michael was like, I'm taking her off. And he did. He took her off. Of course, that led to a lot of fights with him and his wife, Christina. Now, one day, Crystal's counselor contacted Michael and Christina about their youngest daughter, Crystal. And the counselor was like, hey, I feel like Crystal needs counseling. And Michael was like, no, she doesn't. She's not getting any counseling done. Of course, his wife, Christina, was all for it. But Michael was like, no, she's not. And the reason she's not is because I know when I was her age, I got into counseling and I got picked on, I got bullied. And I don't want my daughter getting bullied and getting picked on. So it's a no, you know? So of course, him and his wife got to going at it, got to arguing. So they ended up deciding, like, you know what, this is too much. I think we should just go ahead and split. Now, mind you, Christina and Michael have been married for 19 years. So that's a long time, but they decided to split because of their youngest daughter, Crystal. They just didn't agree upon, you know, what they wanted to do with their youngest daughter, Crystal. Michael felt like his wife, Christina, just gave up on their daughter. Like, he felt like she just wanted to medicate her. She didn't want to, like, really figure out other options, that she just didn't want to deal with her. So, hey, let's just dope her up. That's how he felt Christina felt about the situation. So Michael was resenting his wife for that. Now, during the argument of him and his wife splitting, right? During the argument of them splitting, they're like, oh, it's over, this and this and that, you know. His wife tells him, like, hey, I have something to tell you. And he looking at her like, you know, like, what? Because she was very serious. And she was like, well, I just want to let you know that your oldest daughter, Sierra, isn't biologically yours. And he's like, what do you mean she's not biologically mine? And the wife was like, yeah, she's not biologically yours. Of course, that made Michael really upset. And so Michael decided he wanted to take his youngest daughter, Crystal, to North Carolina. So him and Crystal split. They go to North Carolina. Now, Michael actually got an inheritance from his grandparents. So when they moved to North Carolina, he ended up buying an 8-bedroom house. When they got to North Carolina, Crystal's behavior just increased. I mean, she started shoplifting heavily. Of course, she was lying. She would literally run away for days at a time. And it was just a lot on Michael. And it was just, he said it felt like the more he restrict her, the more she just would do what she would just act out. She was just really rebellious, you know? And so Michael confided in his friend, and he told his friend, he was like, you know what? It just feels like my youngest daughter, Crystal, she doesn't have a conscience. That's what it feels like. Like, she just seemed like she doesn't have a conscience. And his friend was like, what do you mean? Like, she's like a psychopath or something like that? And he was like, I don't know. Like, she just seemed like she doesn't have a conscience. So fast forward, Crystal go to school. She goes to an alternative school. Now she meets these two girls. One name is Summer and the other girl's name is Taylor. They hit it off immediately. They thought that Crystal was just like this life of the party. She was exciting and she was just funny. And so they click really well. It's a reason why I'm saying this, y'all. Letting y'all know about her friends that she met. So one day, Crystal and her father goes to the store, and, you know, they're shopping and everything. As Michael's shopping, he sees that his daughter started to shoplift. And so he called her out on her and told her, you know, you need to go apologize right now to the manager. So she goes and she apologizes, and she was upset. They leave, they go home. Crystal gets in the shower, and her father takes a nap on the couch. And so the next day, Crystal go to school. She see her friends Summer and Taylor, and she tells her friends, like, hey, you know, my dad is going out of town. He's going to Georgia on a business trip for a few days. and I was wondering if I could stay with one of you. And they were like, yeah, of course, you know, you can stay with me. You can stay with me as long as you need to. So Crystal ended up staying with one of her friends, Taylor. And she stayed there for about 3 days. And on the third day, Crystal received a phone call. And it was from her mother. And her mother was telling her, like, hey, your father offed himself and he's no longer here. And so Crystal started breaking down crying. She was shaking. And her friends was, you know, there to console her and just be there for her. And now, the next day, Crystal, you know, was realizing that she would have to go back to an empty house, you know, because her father was no longer there. So Summer and Taylor was like, you know, why don't we just come, you know, stay with you? Why don't we just move in together? And Crystal was like, yeah, let's all just move, stay together. So they go over to Crystal's house. They move all their stuff in, they stay there. So the next day, Crystal was like, let's throw a party. You know, I want to throw a party. So she gets her dad's bank card and she goes to the ATM. She gets money out to buy food, drinks. She even bought a stripper pole to go in her kitchen. And she threw a party. She invited like 50 guests over and they were just partying. And she also had drugs there too. Crystal started to do drugs as well. So they had a good time. They were partying and all of that. The next day, Crystal tells her friends, she like, hey, you know, I'm going to go to Augusta, Georgia. I'm going to go and visit my mom and my older sister, Sierra. And, you know, if you guys need anything, let me know. I could send you guys money back for food or for the light bill or whatever needs to be done. You know, I got y'all. And she also told them, like, I have a pinball machine downstairs in my basement. You guys can sell it if you want to because I don't want it. You know, I don't really like it. I don't want it. So her friends was like, okay, cool. So she said, she also told them before she left to go to Augusta, Georgia, she said, I only have one rule, and that's to not go in this shed that's next to our house. Because that shed really means a lot to me because that's where me and my father shared a lot of memories. And I don't want you guys to go in there and start messing with stuff because I have a lot of sentimental things in there pertaining to my dad. So Summer and Taylor was like, okay, that's not a problem, you know, whatever. So Crystal, she goes to Augusta, Georgia. Now, Summer and Taylor, they took the pinball, I think it's a pinball machine from downstairs, and they took it somewhere to try to sell it. They eventually was like, you know what? We changed our mind. We're not going to sell it. So they brought it back to the house, and they were like, you know, I'm not about to take this machine back downstairs. That's just way too much work. We got to take it in the house and then take it down all these stairs. You know, it's just too much work. Why don't we just go ahead and take it to the shed? Even though we know Crystal said, don't go in the shed. It is what it is. We're going to do it. She's going to be okay, you know. So they go to the shed. They realized that it had a lock on there. So they end up breaking the lock. They opened up the door. They go in. They see like these blue bins in the corner. And immediately they seen a body in it. And, you know, of course they started to panic and go like, oh my God. And it was also a really bad smell in there. And they was like, oh my God, it's somebody from the party that we threw last night. It was a lot of drugs there, was a lot of alcohol there. It got to be somebody from the party. But they realized as they got closer, they seen that it was actually Crystal's father. So they just took off running. They took off running. They immediately went to the sheriff's office. They let them know, like, hey, you know, we seen Crystal's father in the shed in these tube things, you know, and they started calling Crystal. Crystal would not answer her phone. They didn't know Crystal's mom's address or anything. So the cops were on the hunt to find Crystal. Now, Crystal was back home with her mom and her sister. Her mom and her sister said that Crystal just didn't seem like herself. She barely spoke to them. She didn't want to hug them. Like, they tried to hug her and she was just like, no, I don't want to be hugged, you know. And Crystal decided, like, you know, I'm going to go to a hotel, a motel, actually. She went to a motel and she was just sleeping at the motel. Finally, police ended up catching up with her, found out she was at the motel. She let them in. She immediately, her demeanor just changed, the detective said. It was just like she started to act quiet. Like she just seemed like she was portraying to be quiet. Like she didn't know what was going on, and she pretended to act like she was lost about everything that the detective was telling her. Like, oh, your father is being in a shed, you know, and she acting like she didn't have a clue or anything like that. And what he did was he ended up obviously arresting her, taking her in. So he took her in. He set her down in the investigation room. I could not think. He set her down in an investigation room and he started to question her, and she just told everything. She said it, you know. She said, but by the way, as she telling the detective this, the detective said her whole demeanor was like she didn't have a soul. Like like this wasn't even her father. Like she didn't even know the man. She wasn't crying. She wasn't sad. She wasn't red in the face or nothing. Like she just told it like she had no emotions, you know. But she said, this what happened. Now, y'all remember earlier in the story, I had told y'all that Crystal and her father went to the store and he caught her shoplifting and he made her apologize and everything. And then they went home and she ended up getting in the shower and Michael ended up taking a nap on the couch. So Crystal ended up getting out of the shower. She seen her dad sleeping and she just offed him right there. So yeah, she was responsible for her father being in the bins, you know. And they talked to her mom, Crystal mom, and she was like, you know, she was really shocked. But at the same time, she was like, she was just confused because she said at one point she knew her daughter wasn't right in the head. But she didn't think her daughter was capable of that. You know, she didn't think she was capable of that. But she also said too, she said, you know, if Michael would only have listened to me all those years, because I tried to get our daughter help since she was about 6 years old, and he wasn't going for it. He wouldn't allow her to be on medication. He didn't want her to go to counseling or anything. But she was like, you know, it's sad to say, but at the end of the day, had he done that, he would still be here. And that's just that. But this is what the mom is saying, by the way. And so they end up, when she got to prison, they diagnosed her with multiple mental disorders. I don't know what exactly, but they said it was multiple mental disorders. And they end up giving Crystal 30 years in prison, y'all. 30 years. So she'll be there for a very long time, y'all. So I'm back. I was choking, y'all. Woo! But anyways, if you want more true crime, give this video a like, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that post notification bell right next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I drop new videos. And I'll see you on the next video.